Claire noticed the missing place card before anyone acknowledged it. The private dining room at Gibson's Bar and Steakhouse was immaculate, white orchids, linen napkins folded like sculpture, a printed sign that read "Welcome Baby Harper." Her sister Emily stood near the gift table, glowing under soft amber lighting, one hand resting protectively over her 7-month belly. There were 22 seats arranged around the long table. Claire counted twice. Emily's smile tightened when she followed Claire's gaze. "Oh," she said lightly, as if remembering to order extra bread. "We were over capacity. It's so hard with these private rooms." Their mother stepped in, smoothing the moment with the efficiency she used at PTA meetings years ago. "Honestly, Claire, why don't you try that pub across the street? You always preferred more relaxed places." Emily laughed softly. "Yeah, O'Malley's, it suits you perfectly." It wasn't loud. It wasn't cruel in tone. That made it worse. Claire felt the familiar tightening in her chest, the old narrative settling over her shoulders, the unreliable one. The sister who left a stable corporate law job downtown to experiment with commercial redevelopment. The one who never quite aligned with expectations. She smiled. "I'll do that," she said. No one stopped her. The February air outside was sharp. Lake Michigan wind cutting between buildings. Across the street, the neon shamrock sign of O'Malley's pub flickered in the early evening dimness. The place looked worn, brick facade, hand-painted Guinness logo fading near the door. It did look out of place next to the polished steakhouse. Claire supposed that was the point. Inside, it smelled like oak and fried onions. The bar top was scarred but clean. A Blackhawks game played quietly above the taps. Claire. Patrick, the general manager, stepped out from behind the bar immediately. No hesitation, no surprise. "We didn't expect you tonight." "I didn't expect to be free," she replied. He nodded once, reading the space between her words. Patrick had managed O'Malley's for 15 years. He had seen bachelor parties, layoffs, divorce, reconciliation toasts. He understood tone. "Office?" he asked. She shook her head. "Not yet." Claire slid into a booth near the front window, the one with a clear view of the steakhouse across the street. From here, the private dining room windows glowed like an aquarium. She hadn't planned this evening to intersect with business. But redevelopment rarely asked permission. 6 months earlier, she had quietly assembled a commercial property group to revitalize an entire block, aging mid-rise buildings, underperforming leases, structures with deferred maintenance the owners could no longer manage. O'Malley's was central to it. The pub's building, including the lot beneath it, was under contract pending final signatures. The steakhouse wasn't for sale. But their lease was up in 11 months. Claire had learned to move slowly, quietly, respectfully. The door to O'Malley's opened again. Not a customer. Daniel Reyes, general manager of Gibson's Bar and Steakhouse, stepped inside. Coat still on, expression professionally composed but unmistakably urgent. He spotted her immediately. "Ems Whitmore," he said, approaching the booth. "I apologize for interrupting your evening." Patrick straightened behind the bar. Claire gestured to the seat across from her. "You're not interrupting." Daniel remained standing. "We received notice from your office this afternoon regarding the block redevelopment timeline. I wanted to confirm whether the revised proposal, particularly the shared parking structure, remains contingent on tonight's documentation." Across the street, someone at the steakhouse window shifted. Claire caught a glimpse of her mother's pale blue dress, Emily's silhouette beside her. They were watching. Claire folded her hands neatly on the table. "It does," she said calmly. "But documentation doesn't happen in pubs, it happens during business hours." Daniel nodded once, absorbing both the answer and the subtext. "Understood. If we could secure Monday morning, 10 o'clock, Claire replied. "My office on LaSalle." His relief was subtle but real. "We appreciate your flexibility." He thanked her again, formally, and left. Silence settled after the door closed. Through the window, Claire saw movement at the Steefted. Faces turned away quickly. Patrick approached slowly. "You didn't have to meet him tonight." "I didn't," she agreed. She looked around the pub. Not at the scuffed floors or the outdated lighting, but at the bones of the building. Solid brick. History worth preserving. I'm not demolishing this place, she said quietly. Patrick exhaled a breath he'd been holding for months. I figured. I'm restoring it. Keeping the name. Outside, Emily stepped briefly onto the sidewalk, scanning toward the pub before retreating inside. No confrontation. No scene. Claire felt no surge of triumph. Only clarity. For years, she had tried to earn a seat at tables designed without her in mind. Tonight had simply revealed the structure plainly. She stood, buttoned her coat. See you Monday. Patrick said. See you Monday. When she crossed back toward her car. She didn't look up at the private dining room windows again. Her phone buzzed as she reached the curb. A text from her mother. We didn't realize you were involved with the property. Claire stared at the message for a long moment before typing back. You didn't ask. She put the phone away. The wind off the lake carried the faint sound of laughter from the restaurant. The party would continue. Gifts would be opened. Photos taken. On Monday morning, contracts would be reviewed. Some things shift in paperwork. Claire walked to her car without hurrying, dignity intact, celebration unnecessary.